got a couple of listeners, a couple of viewers. Is there any way to even tell that?
Yeah, well,
we got 50. I can see it.
Yeah, dude, that's like a record. I think we got a lot of people on here.
Record of people watching this thing.
Well, the other thing too is this is recording, right? So this people can come back and watch this after the fact.
Right,
so
right,
if we
right.
drop some serious knowledge bombs, we'll want to attach, you know, and kind of say,
do that.
Hey.
The worst thing about Facebook and stuff like this is people sitting there around waiting to give me good shit. So I'm going to give you good shit. Here it is. The fitness industry has got a serious addiction. If we look at how we run our businesses today, for all you guys owners out there and coaches, pretty much anybody you talk to, especially in the CrossFit world, I mean, still today, but back in the day, it was how many members you got, right? Remember those days, JJ? How many members you got? How many members you got? You probably had 1,000 members at one time, right?
Oh, over 1,000.
Right. How was the profit on that 1,000? Right. So
I got to pay some of my life savings in taxes. It was awesome.
And then, you look at it, you probably still said to yourself, if I could only get 50 more members or 100 more members at one point, you said, well, that would be profit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was, we were always chasing this, if we just get a few more members, the money's going to work out. If we just expand to a bigger location, or if we add another location, a second location,
right,
add more classes, hire more coaches, all those things.
Right. So when I look at it, I remember in my early days when I looked at it, I was like, we first do the napkin drawing on paper, and it's, if we can get the 150 or 200 clients, so you do your math, and it was, holy shit, we're going to be rich. It just never turns out that way with the system we got. So, that thing out there, you get gym owners are out there, probably still thinking, right, if I only had 20 more clients, or if I had 40 more clients, I'd be okay. But you get there and you're still not okay, or you don't get there. Either way, it's not okay. So, I mean, that's the addiction to members. And then that leads to another addiction, which is leads, right? See, Craig Coffin's trying to find us over there on our Facebook forum. Where do we send them? You see on our Facebook
if they
forum?
Go, if they go to the Facebook group or the Facebook page, right, the business page, I'll see if I can link it. I see it here. Let me hit share.
All right, so I'll keep on talking. You got the questions, right? If anybody bangs up more questions. So, that leads to an addiction of I need more leads, right? So the business becomes, how do I get more leads? How to get more leads? Why CrossFit got so huge is because they could bring in leads, it didn't matter how many of those things you put into a town at one time. 2011, 12, 13, they just blew up because they could handle the leads. I remember a guy opening here locally in town that, they really didn't have any experience. And they came and spied on us for a little while, and, they opened their gym. They had 100 members in the first month. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine opening up your own gym right now and putting Bob's tire repair and fitness or whatever up there, and you get 100 people come in? It's so unrealistic that so many people thought they were geniuses, right? And you can see what, Greg was right. It all comes down to the lead. So, now since that obviously has tapered off huge, now you get Groupon coming in, and they exploited everybody, and that was a disaster. And now it's like all the challenges, and everybody's addicted to the 5-minute challenge. It's the marketing companies making all the money. So what are the two most important metrics for your business? If you want to look at two metrics that send you down the right road all the time, what would that be, JJ? There's 6 of them really, but the first two, you got to get those two right. I think maybe a 3 off of this.
Well, yeah, we got more viewers on here now, which is great.
Okay.
Now, I just want to before we jump into the ones you need, I was going to say what are some of the most common vanity metrics we always hear about? Number of members, square footage,
and
how many times you've been to the games or been to regionals, how many games athletes you have.
You should have a games athlete be your coach. You know what I mean? That games athletes make the best coaches. Those are all
how many classes.
It's all the completely
wrong
classes
you have. How many classes do you have?
Right.
Yeah.
So the two most important metrics in your gym, if you all the time, that's all you thought about, you made these two metrics right, you're going to win. Average client value, right? What is my average client value right now? If your average client value is under $200 in North America, you're going to fail. You may limp along at 180 for a while. At 150 or below, you're totally fucked. There's no way you're going to survive. Anything, you know what I mean? I mean, even that Group X model, which churns through people. And then the second thing is churn. What is my average client value? What is my churn rate? And if you can get your average client value high, i.e., I got people paying me a lot of money, and churn low, they don't leave. I got people paying me a lot of money, and they don't leave, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Nothing can beat that. Those are the two metrics. How many members you got? It means nothing, because if you look at, we did a study of 1,600 CrossFit gyms in 2015 with Zen Planner, and it was 82% churn. So you could have your 300 members here right now, and a year from now, unless you got all those new clients coming in, which is the addiction, and need more leads, you're hooped. So all you guys out there, Mad Lab guys especially, are listening. This is why I want you on these masterminds. And we're going to look at six metrics. But the key metric at all times is average client value. Right? In Vancouver, we're climbing up. We're at 250. Our goal is to be at 300 within 2 years.
That's monthly?
Yeah, 300. I mean, we know in 4 years from now, we're going to get a huge rent increase. We dodged it this year. Beg, board, steal, lawyers, threats, crazy protracted experience. But I managed to save our rent to a place, Vancouver's going crazy. We know we 4 years from now, if we're not 350 per client, average client value, we're not going to make it, right? And then the churn rate. So we're 250 right now. And our churn rate last year, we lost 16 people out of over, I think it was like 296 or 316. Finding the exact number of clients you got, I don't know how it's so difficult, but it seems to be. So we know we have a churn rate of less than 5%, right? Where the industry average is 80. So if you can be, the idea being the average client value gets higher, churn rate goes down lower, they actually work hand in hand. So, how would you possibly get a $300 average client value and a churn rate below 10%? What would do that? You know what I mean? If you're sitting around brainstorming about how I'm going to make my business work, how would you get those numbers? Well, as we know, JJ, the only way you get those numbers is through relationships. It takes a relationship to get that. You're not going to do it through marketing. You're not going to do it through fancy machines and equipment and more classes and
heart rate monitors and all this.
Yeah, look at Orange Theory. Do you think they're going to have an average client value of 300 and a churn rate less than 10%? There's no way with that model. It's not going to work. So, I mean, it takes that professional coach who knows what he's doing to make a professional relationship with a client and get them results and have community and have all those other great things, So, and the way we look at it is my guys, they take their clients through 20 sessions of personal training, and that gets them all in the right place. And you set your goals, and you get everything going. You get that person all dusted off, and then they can join any one of a series of programs. But our most popular one right now is they go to unlimited classes, and they see their coach once every 6 weeks. So that costs about $300 for us. So we sell mostly those now, and that's my differentiator in the market. Nobody can touch us. Coach for life, hybrid membership, prescription for a great life, all those things. I know no one in our market can touch us, right? Yeah.
What we've been doing is after the fundamentals, we do the once a week or once every other week PT for like a month or two, and then we do the waterfall, right? So they start with all PT, then it's group with one PT a week. And then it's group with a PT every other week. And then they end up at, we don't have a 6 week, we have a 1 month and a quarterly. Maybe there's an opportunity for a 6 week hybrid, but yeah. And you have to have that relationship, with the clients, because they're not going to, like I said, there's no amount. I mean, unless you're in a crazy market, like we're out here in the Bay Area, and there's the Soul Cycle, right? Which is this chain that charges 25, 30. It's $25 to $30 a drop in for spin.
That's pretty good. I mean, I like that. At least they're smart enough about it. If you're going to have a big, massive fad and then you sell it at the top and get out of the franchise, I mean, you might as well charge a lot for it too, right?
Yeah, the 40 to 50 people in a class, it's just like, oh my gosh. And I mean, great, more power to them and for the people that can afford it. But what they've actually done is they've kind of created this marketing around it being very exclusive. And so, but it's not sustainable. And what's happened now is we've seen all the other companies come up, and Spin has made a big resurgence, and that's great. But it's like, is it really worth $25 a visit?
Well, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter what you charge for it. The metrics stay the same almost. It probably, the more you charge for it, I bet you the retention gets a little better, even though it's exactly the same product. If you charged $2 for that class or $40 for the class, you probably have better retention at 40 from everything I know about the industry. So I know the more that we charge in PTs, the more in the actual more referrals we get, and the better the retention is. It works the opposite of what most of the world's out there doing because they're desperate, right? And when you're desperate, you do some crazy things. So okay, there's two metrics. Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so it's psychology, right? If people aren't investing a good amount of money in it, they're not going to take it seriously. If they do put a lot of money in, they're going to create all kinds of observations and justifications in their mind that it's really good. Just as me, I'm full of random
information. $2, you're gonna start thinking this is a piece of shit, right? And you're gonna,
yeah. When people sit down to taste food, if the silverware feels heavy, they rate it as better tasting, right? Because it's like, oh, this is not, and they subconsciously it makes it feel like it's better and more important. It's somewhat true. You could have literally the best coach in the world, but if he's if he's begging for business and charging $5 an hour, he's not going to get the same level of referrals as some guy who's maybe not very good but charging $100 an hour, right?
Right.
There's a balance.
So I'm going to go through the 6 key metrics. Number one, the two most important measurements from a sort of a client standpoint is average client value, and churn. If they pay you a lot of money and never leave, guess what? You don't have a problem. Second, the next two I'm going to say are coach pay and dollars per coach hour, right? You look at those things, and if you set up the right metrics where the coach is doing the right things for the business, for example, you pay a coach by the hour, that's totally the wrong incentive for average client value and retention. How does that possibly help you with average client value and retention? So when you're setting up your coach pay and you're doing $1 per coach hour, it's nonsense. They're paying them by the hour. So what do you want to pay them for? Well, you want to pay them for average client value and retention, right? Bang.
Yeah.
So if their clients pay more, they make more. If their clients stick around, they make more, right? So that's how one set of metrics has to lead to the other, and then you end up with what drops out at the bottom. So to get average client value and retention, you need to take a relationship. That coach has to make the relationship. He has to learn how to earn it. It takes, anybody out there as a coach in our system knows that it's not easy. Like I know Tom right now, he's probably getting right up against the bumper and how much he can make, and he probably earn $110,000 this year in our system, right? Before taxes take home. Where that's kind of there is a ceiling, but I mean it's three times or 4 times more what the average coach is making out there in the gym today. And then all the metrics, so average client value, churn leads to coach pay and dollars per coach hour. You set up your metrics to make them stick around longer and pay you more. Then what drops out of the bottom are revenue and profit, right? At the end of the day, you set up your pricing right. And in this model, if you have 4 full-time coaches, you should make around 20 to 23%, right? So, but getting to full-time coaches is the tough part. So if you're a gym owner, you're the first coach. If you get to 50 tribe members, then you'll be profitable. All you need is yourself, 50, 60 tribe members. Then you start training and you have some part-time people to help with classes. And then you start training your first full-time apprentice, right? And then your job becomes managing your tribe of 50, 60 people and training trainers.
Well, and that's the end of the game. The other game there is that running a business, especially running gyms, is an infinite game, right? And if we're paying people by the hour, the game that they're paying is show up for that hour, right? That's it. You're paying them for salary. It is, do these tasks, and probably subconsciously they're going to spend as little energy and time as possible to collect that revenue. The infinite game is to create the incentives where they want to keep their clients forever because they're providing value forever, right? Like they're helping these people with their lives from literally the teenage years or right around when they're dating in their 20s all the way until they go until they die, right? That's if we can teach coaches to do that, our businesses and our gyms will never have any problem financially. But it's right. It's that long-term thinking, that infinite right. game, not playing the little how do I make money this month game. And that's what we're seeing with the marketing guys that's plaguing a lot of gyms right now. And they're posting, 100, I got 100 leads last month, or yeah. I got, or you see these other, your competitor gyms nearby all talking about, they're promoting how they got a bunch of clients or all these new, our new boot camp is full with 40 people or whatever.
I'll just say the same thing. The whole industry is actually, the gym industry is broken. Like, to me, it's incredible. Coming from the engineering side of things, I mean, in corporate America, it has faults and stuff, and mostly you had to be very political, and you had to, you had to go down on a bigger and bigger penis. It seemed like the further up the chain you went, it had its own things. And I hear the military's like that as well. So people, open their own businesses so they don't have to do that stuff. I mean, you both did that. The industry is broken. The gym business is fundamentally broken because everybody's focusing on members and leads. I got 100 leads. I got 100 leads. And then those leads come in and somebody else makes all the money off them, because when you got to train those people for the little amount of money you're going to make after a marketing company sells them some fucking pipe dream. I don't know what the ones I hear, like, the pipe dream is, come on in, you're going to change your life in 5 weeks. It's $300 for that challenge. The marketing company takes $160. The gym gets $140. To train someone for $140 for a month. You know what I mean? It's 5 weeks. You can't. You're done. You're automatically immediately finished, because the churn rate on that's going to be 80%. It's going to be. I don't care what anybody says. It's going to be 80%.
It's more.
More. I don't even know what it is there, but I know it's 80 for sure. Like a minimum.
I know a for a year. I talked to a guy who has 17 boot camps down in LA. That's all they do is transformation.
Wow. So that's just in 6 weeks. So that's like a 90% churn rate for the year. It's just marketing companies make all the money, and our industry just gets shafted again, Right. Sucked it out again. There's no relationship.
That's why we should more relationship. That's why we charge more, because the energy exchange between the client and the coach is so much higher. And now we're going to do the exact opposite. It's like doing the free class or whatever, so bad.
It's all completely wrong, and it amazes me that we still do it. I mean, I went back and said, here are the 6 measurements that's going to guarantee you, if you take care of those measurements, you're going to have a successful gym, right? And probably have this, it's almost like a life lesson. Average client value, they're paying you a bunch of money. Good, right? Low client value. Of every decision you make, it's like, okay, I'm going to run this challenge, and I'm going to make $110 in 5 weeks off of this. Is that a good decision? Immediately it's disqualified. No, because it doesn't raise my average client value. You don't do it unless you're desperate as hell and you need a bunch of leads, and maybe you do that, but I can't see how you get ahead. Maybe you get a few leads and you can transfer them into a high average client value, but eventually you do enough of those challenges, that is your business. That becomes your business. That becomes who you are. It's what everybody knows about you. It's what you're focusing on. So I can't see how it wins. And then, second thing is churn. Those things churn like crazy. So you're making a decision to put something in that's going to churn. So should you do that? Well, no. Does it raise your average? No. Having said that, can you make a relationship with it? And maybe you struggle and fight, and then you get 5 out of the 25 or 20 out of the 30. I think JG just cut out for a minute. You get 5 out of the 30 to transfer over into something that is awesome, that is a high value service, that is low churn. but most of the time that's not how it works. I know some people have had some decent success of taking, this group and put them in over here, and they've been really smart about it. So some people have been smart about it, and they know that they have to get high average client value, and they know they have to get a relationship, and they know they got to lower the churn. But when you're basically making any decision in this business, if you look at it as, is this going to raise my average client value? Is this going to lower my churn? Are my coaches going to make more money? And am I going to make profit off of this decision right now? So, that's pretty much it. We're going to be talking a lot about this over the next few months. We're releasing a whole new product to come December called the MadLab Death Star. But essentially, it's a whole system that teaches people to make the right decisions and really focus on a sustainable business model. Right. Right now, the way the gym industry is completely unsustainable. It's broken, and our mission is to change that. So shout out to all of our MadLab members, our current MadLab members. Love you guys. Thanks for being on the boat with us for so long. Yeah. So I think that, JJ, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, Patty?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear you for some reason.
Huh. Well, I think we're coming to the end of this talk. If anybody has any questions, and that's
my audio.
It's awesome. I see there's like 8 comments on there.
But I think everyone can still hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys, if you can hear me, 6 measurements. Stick to them. Know them. Right. All you guys, the MadLab group guys, you get on your regional masterminds. Those things are awesome. All the people that are in there are crushing that thing. And 6 measurements: average client value, retention, coach pay, dollars per coach hour, drops out at the bottom, gross revenue and profit, which you need to have a sustainable business model to do that. Gym, it ain't easy. Love you guys. Pink Pig, Patterson out.
Well, waiting for Pink Pig to reconnect. All right, everybody. Well, I don't know if Patty's gone or not. I think you're totally clear now, though. Haha. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I unplugged my USB to try to figure out what was going wrong with the audio, and then now I can't hear I couldn't hear Patty talking at all. But I'm pretty sure he didn't even notice that I couldn't hear him for like 5 minutes. He just talked without it. So, yeah. So that's it for today, guys. We'll wrap it up here. Hopefully, he said goodbye, and I'm going to say goodbye now, even though I can't hear anything. And look forward to the next video.